Today on 17th August, Archangel Michael says, "Your mother who is in heaven sent this through God. She's been trying to reach you for 3 days. This is exactly what she wanted to tell you. Open this before it's too late." Archangel Michael says, "I have carried a message across light and storm to place it gently in your hands today. Your mother has been trying to reach you for 3 days, and heaven has cleared the path for her words to arrive. Read slowly, breathe deeply, and let what you feel be the proof that this is for you alone." You woke with a weight on your chest you could not name, a tug at the edge of your day like a sleeve being pulled by a small loving hand. That was her, pressing against the veil, whispering the same syllables again and again. She asked that I keep them intact, so they land where they must and heal what they touch. This is exactly what she wanted to tell you, and she meant every word even before I began to deliver them. She wants you to know she has watched over each hour of the last 3 days and wrapped them in quiet protection. She has seen your sighs, your silences, and the brave face you wear when no one else is looking. She says you have been strong for too long, and that strength has begun to feel like stone. She knows the place in you that aches when the world becomes too loud, and she has been coming close to rub that ache away with a mother's invisible thumb. She wants you to sit for a moment, to rest your shoulders, and to let the light touch your skin like warm water. Your mother remembers the way you laughed as a child, the way your eyes searched for her face in a crowded room. She says she feels that same search now, coming from you like a lighthouse beam across dark water. She has answered by lighting her own lantern so you can find your way toward peace. She asks you not to measure your progress by the speed of the world outside. She asks you to measure by the softness returning to your voice and the gentleness you are learning to offer yourself. The world can be fast and loud. Her love is steady and quiet, and it will not leave. Here is something specific she wants you to release, a worry that keeps circling your mind like a bird that refuses to land. She has watched you rehearse every possible outcome until your heart becomes tired of the rehearsal. She says the door you fear is not the door you must walk through, and the road that looks longest will fold itself short when you take the first step. She has seen you try to hold everything together with your bare hands. She has seen the way your jaw tightens when you think no one can see. She says your hands do not have to hold the whole sky. They only need to hold what is yours, and heaven will hold the rest. "Tell them I am not far," she said, and her voice carried the calm of rain on warm ground. "Tell them I have learned how to be near without a body, how to stand in the quiet corners of every room they enter." She asked me to remind you that nearness is not measured in miles but in meaning. She wants you to trust the small signs arriving in ordinary moments. The psalm that plays at the perfect time, the feather where no bird has been, the sudden warmth when the air is cool. These are the ways she brushes your day with a soft signature to let you know she has not missed a single detail. She knows you have questions you keep inside, and she is not asking you to put them away. She is asking you to place them beside you like flowers you intend to water. Not every question needs an answer to be healed. Some only need love to feel less alone. In the last 3 days, you have felt old memories knock at your heart. You wondered if this was weakness, if you were moving backward into storms you already survived. She says it is not weakness. It is the tide pulling back before bringing something new to shore. She asks you to clean a small space where the light can rest. It can be a corner of your desk, a single drawer, a window you open in the morning. When you make a place for light, light arrives, and in that clear square of space she will sit with you. Forgive yourself for the way you learned to survive, she says, and her eyes are kind when she speaks it. You did not choose the waves, but you learned how to float, and that is a brave kind of wisdom. She wants you to keep that wisdom and release the shame that tried to grow beside it. Here is a name you have not said out loud because it trembles in your mouth. She knows the history sewn into that name and the heaviness stitched to it. She says you are allowed to outgrow rooms and stories that shrink the size of your spirit. She wants you to remember the promise you made to yourself in a quiet hour, perhaps late at night, perhaps after tears. You promised to be kinder to the small child still living inside your chest. She says that child has been listening and is beginning to uncurl. In your work, she has seen you overgive, overprepare, and over-apologize. She says your diligence is beautiful and your integrity shines, but she wants your boundaries to rise like gentle hills around your time. A boundary is not a wall. It is a garden fence that helps everything grow. She knows you worry about the people you love, the ones who walk into and out of your day like weather. She has noticed how you carry their storms in your pocket even when the sun returns. She says you can care deeply and still set the burden down at night. Your mother hath been practicing a language that does not use words. It hums through the objects you touch and the doors you open. When a knot loosens without any clear reason, it is because she sang to it until it softened. She says there are 3 things she wants to give you: rest for what hath been heavy, courage for what is unfolding, and joy for what is quietly arriving. She is not promising a life without rain. She is promising that you will always find a dry porch to watch the rain from. She will sit beside you there, and your shoulders will lower inch by inch. She remembers the first time she held you and the way the room became more than a room. She has carried that feeling beyond time, and it has not faded. You are still the same miracle to her, despite the years and the worry and the work. There is an apology she wants you to hear, and she sends it with honesty and grace. She apologizes for moments when she did not understand your hurt quickly enough, for times when her own storms made her hard to reach. She says she understands now, and understanding has turned into a blessing with your name on it. She also sends forgiveness, bright and uncomplicated. She forgives you for the mistakes you hold against yourself, for the words you wish you could take back, for the times you disappeared because the world felt too sharp. She says you were learning the shape of your own soul, and that lesson takes tenderness and time. Your mother has written a small prayer across your forehead, the kind no one else can see. It is not made of doctrine or rule. It is made of love that takes the shape of your life. It says, "May they be kept, may they be guided, may they be returned to themselves again and again." She asks you to speak to her out loud when you need to, even if only in a whisper. Your voice is a bridge between the rooms of heaven and the rooms of your house. When you speak, she hears, and when you pause, she answers by touching the quiet around you. In the days ahead, she wants you to begin a gentle ritual at dawn or at dusk. Light a candle or open a window, whichever brings you closer to the simple truth of breath. Tell the day what you need, and let the day promise to help. She says there is a letter you have not written, and it is time to begin it. It can be to yourself, to a season you are leaving, or to a dream you are ready to meet. You do not need all the words at once. You only need a first line and a willing hand. She asks you to soften your mornings with one kind thought before your feet touch the floor. It can be as small as, "I will be gentle with me today." Small seeds grow into shelter when planted every day. Your mother has watched you look for signs in the sky and in the faces of strangers. She smiles because she knows the truest sign is already inside you. It is the warmth you feel when something is right, and the cooling breeze when something is wrong. She wants you to know that grief and love are made of the same water. One makes your throat tight. The other loosens it with laughter. If your throat is tight today, she says to sit beside the feeling and let it teach you something patient and new. In your house there is an object you have not touched in a while, perhaps a photograph, a scarf, a book, a cup. Pick it up when you are ready and thank it for carrying a memory safely. Then place it back down with intention, as a guardian rather than a ghost. She has seen the way you hold your breath during difficult conversations. She asks you to exhale slowly and place your hand over your heart. The heart listens better when it is warmed by a human palm. There is a dream that feels too big for your schedule, too bright for the dim corridor you are walking. She says brightness is not the enemy of modest beginnings. A single match can lead a person out of a cave. She is proud of the kindness you have shown even when the world felt ungenerous. She is proud of the way you have learned to apologize without shrinking your spirit. She is proud that you kept a soft place in yourself for wonder. In the last 3 days, she has held back a certain trouble from reaching you. She does not want you to fear, she wants you to notice the near miss and recognize the care at work. Protection is often invisible until you look back and see the places where harm could have entered but didn't. She asks you to remember the meal you loved most that she cooked, the one that tasted like home. She says to recreate a small part of it soon, even if you only have time for one spice or one slice of bread. Memory can be nourishment when prepared with intention. There is someone you have been meaning to call. She says to make that call when the day is kind and your heart is steady. Say only what is true, and let the truth be gentle even if it needs to be firm. Your mother laughs softly when she talks about your stubbornness. She loved it even when it made days complicated. She says that same stubbornness will help you insist on joy when the world is trying to sell you fear. She noticed you recently standing in a doorway, thinking whether to step forward or backward. She wants you to step forward without rushing, forward without apology, forward as if the floor is glad to feel your feet. The doorway was never meant to be a home. She has a blessing for your sleep. She asks the night to be calm and the dreams to loosen their knots. She asks that you wake with one unnecessary fear missing, unlike a coat forgotten at a party you no longer need to attend. She thanks you for the way you have kept her stories alive, not as monuments but as living rooms you can still walk into. She feels the way you hold her inside jokes and her favorite songs. She says you can keep what brings color and let go of what brings weight. If tears arrive while you read this, she says let them come. Tears are not failures. They are tiny rivers that carve room for new green things to grow. When you wipe your face, do it as kindly as you would wipe a child's. She has a message for your body, the home you'll live in for every breath of this life. She says to thank your knees and your shoulders and your eyes for their faithful service. She says to forgive the parts that ache and to listen to the quiet requests for rest, water, movement, and sunlight. She sends warmth to the room you use most, the place where your keys land, your bag rests, your shoes wait. She has been standing there like a familiar scent, like the first few bars of a song you know by heart. If you pause there tonight, you may feel her hand pass through your hair the way it once did. There is a habit you are ready to release, and she knows exactly which one it is. You have outgrown it, the way a tree outgrows a stake. She says it will fall away with less effort than you imagine once you decide to live without it. She invites you to make a small list before sleep, 3 things that went right, no matter how small. The right fruit, a message returned, a kind smile at a crosswalk. The world becomes friendlier when you keep a record of its kindness. Your mother asks you to say your name with affection. Names can become heavy if they only hear themselves at the end of scoldings. She wants your name to hear itself in a sentence like, "I am proud of you," spoken with sincerity. She sends a hush to the part of your mind that rehearses arguments and relives old mistakes. She places a soft blanket over those restless thoughts. She hums until they sleep. For the next 7 mornings, she asks you to open a door or a window and let fresh air touch your face. This is how heaven says good morning in the language of wind. Say good morning back with a smile, and notice how the day answers. She wants you to remember the exact way light moves across your favorite wall. She wants you to watch it change and to mark the moment when it becomes gold. That is when you are most likely to hear her, not with your ears but with a part of you that knows without proof. She blesses your next conversation with courage. She blesses your next decision with clarity. She blesses your next quiet moment with comfort so complete it feels like the softest robe placed around your shoulders. Your mother says that nothing important between you was left unfinished, even if some words were never spoken. Love finishes what words begin. You can trust that completion when doubt tries to breathe on the window of your calm. She's seen the way you look at photographs and wonder if you remember correctly. She says memory is allowed to be kind. It can round the edges without lying. You do not have to carry every sharp detail to honor the truth. She tells me to remind you that you are allowed to be delighted, even now, even here. Joy does not need permission slips signed by perfect circumstances. Joy needs only a small open square of time and a willing heart. For the place in your life that feels most tangled, she sends a patient companion, time. Time is not your enemy. Time is the friend who sits on the floor and works through the knot with you. The knot will loosen, the cord will straighten, your hands will remember what freedom feels like. She asks you to keep a tiny promise to yourself this week. Choose one that fits in the palm of your hand. Keep it, and then let the glow of that kept promise warm the rest of your day. Your mother wants you to know she has found peace in ways that cannot be written fully here. She wants to share that peace with you piece by piece, in the proportions your heart can receive. If you feel a calm arrive for no reason, accept it as a gift from her generous hands. She smiles when she says your nickname, the one that almost no one else knows. She says it with love that fills the spaces between each syllable. It means, come home to yourself. If the world tries to convince you that tenderness is naive, she will stand beside your tenderness like a guardian. She knows tenderness is not weakness. It is a way of being brave. Keep choosing it where you can. She asks you to remove one thing from your day that steals your peace and add one thing that returns it. A small subtraction and a small addition can change the whole sum. Try it, and watch the totals turn in your favor. For the project you are building, she lays her hand over your plans. She whispers patience into the corners where deadlines try to shout. She calls in collaborators who will understand your heart and honor your pace. She is grateful for the way you speak kindly to those who serve you, drivers, baristas, clerks, couriers. She says every kindness is an echo that eventually finds its way home. You will hear your own good voice returning to you in unexpected hours. Your mother says there is a door with your name carved into its frame. You do not have to knock, you only have to be willing to walk through. On the other side is a version of you that feels familiar and free at the same time. She asks you to believe that healing is not a race you can lose. Healing is a path through a forest where you will stop to look at birds and sit on moss and listen to streams. The path remains even when you rest. When you feel alone, she invites you to place your hand over your heart and say, "Here I am." She will answer, "Here I am," from wherever she stands in the light. Two "here I ams" make a bridge even when you cannot see it. She laughs with you when you laugh and steady you when you stumble. She does not hover like a shadow. She moves like warmth. Warmth doesn't mean to be seen to be believed. For the fear that climbs into your throat at night, she sends a lantern and a lullaby. The lantern is for the mind. The lullaby is for the body. Together they make a simple road back to sleep. She blesses the work of your hands, whether they type, lift, stitch, cook, mend, or hold. She blesses your feet for the miles they have walked and the miles yet to go. She blesses your eyes for finding beauty even on difficult days. Your mother is not asking you to be perfect. She is asking you to be present. Presence is where love is easiest to find and where help can reach you without getting lost. Be here, and the help will arrive. She reminds you that courage can be quiet. It can be a single phone call, a single boundary, a single truth said softly. Do one courageous thing this week and let it teach you your size. She says your laughter is a key and there are doors that open only when it turns in the lock. Find something that makes you laugh without effort. Laugh like you are watering the ground for flowers that bloom at midnight. She has a final piece of her message, held back until now because she wanted your heart to feel ready. She says, "You did not fail me. You did not fail yourself. You are exactly who I always knew you were becoming." Let those words soak like rain into dry soil. Let them run down into the roots of your oldest doubts. Let them rise back up as green shoots of self-trust. Your mother will keep speaking in ways that are easy to miss and impossible to mistake. You will feel the nudge when it comes, a soft insistence to turn left instead of right, to pause instead of push. Follow the soft thing. It is often the truest thing. If you need to cry again later, she will be there for that too. If you need to dance, she will laugh with delight. If you need to sit and simply breathe, she will count with you until your breath remembers its rhythm. She places a small blessing on your doorway so that what enters must be kind. She places another blessing on your pillow so that rest finds you without searching. She places one more on your name, so that when it is spoken, it carries respect and peace. In closing, she asks you to keep your heart open to unlikely help. It may arrive as a message at the exact moment you need it, or as a stranger's consideration that saves you an hour, or as your own sudden clarity at a crossroads. However it arrives, call it what it is: love finding you. These are her words carried across the bright distances, and I have given them to you as faithfully as they were given to me. Hold them with both hands, and let them teach your fingers how to loosen their grip on fear. Step into the next hour knowing she is near, and that nearness will not leave. When the day ends, place this message somewhere safe, perhaps near a light or a photograph that calms you. Return to it when you need reminding, and read the lines that warm your breath. Tomorrow will find you with softer eyes and a steadier step. And if a moment of doubt tries to rise, remember the timing. 3 days of trying to reach you, and finally today a clearing in the clouds. Timing is its own signature. This is how love works when it refuses to quit. Walk gently now. Drink some water. Let your shoulders know they can rest. Your mother is proud of you. I am witnessing it as clearly as dawn. He is with you in ways that will continue to make sense as you move. Take what consoles you from these words and set the rest aside without worry. Your heart knows what to keep. Your life will show you how to use it. If you feel a warmth at your back as you stand, that is her. If you feel a lightness at your brow as you breathe, that is her too. If you feel nothing right away, that is still okay. Love works in quiet rhythms and often blooms overnight. Now go toward what is honest and kind. Go toward what opens you without wounding you. Go toward the room inside you that hath been waiting for a knock and a voice that says, "It's me. I'm home." If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, "There is more she asked me to place in your hands," because the light of her message keeps unfolding like dawn across the same window. She has waited until your breath steadied to send the next part. Let your attention settle like a bird on a safe branch. She wants you to name the room inside you where worry stores its boxes. Open that room kindly and let air move through. You will not lose yourself by opening a window. You will find yourself by letting the weight breathe. She remembers your small victories you thought no one noticed. The day you chose rest over proving your worth. The morning you spoke up softly for what you needed. She kept those like pressed leaves between the pages of time. Your mother says your tenderness is not a liability in a hard world. It is the exact tool you were given to carve a life worth living. Keep it near. Sharpen it with boundaries. Use it with care. She asks you to perform a simple ritual for 7 evenings. Before sleep, place your phone face down. Place your hand on your heart and say one truthful sentence about the day. Truth invites calm, and calm invites clear dreams. There is a place in your home that collects stray objects and forgotten intentions. She asks you to clear that place slowly, not as punishment, but as a way to choose what continues with you. Choosing is a form of love when it is gentle. She watched you step away from a conversation recently to keep your peace. That was wisdom, not avoidance. She sends you the courage to return when your voice is ready and the moment is kind. Your mother has a practical instruction for your mornings. Drink water before words. The body hears kindness fastest when it arrives as something simple. She has noticed the way you blame yourself for weather you did not make. She asks you to return the clouds to the sky and the tides to the moon. What remains in your hands after that is yours to shape. He places a small blessing on the work you have been postponing. It will be easier than your fear tells you. Begin with the smallest true step and let momentum join you halfway. There is a photo you glance at and then look away from. She wants you to face it for a full breath. Say thank you for what you held, and set it down with intention. Gratitude dissolves the ache without erasing the truth. She asks you to remember a lesson she taught you without words, how to enter a room and notice who needs kindness first. Keep doing that, but add yourself to the scan. If you are the one who needs kindness, let yourself be first without guilt. She knows the exact knot that tightens in your shoulder when the past taps your name. Place a warm cloth there tonight, breathe out through your mouth, and imagine loosening one loop at a time. Knots give up more easily when they are warmed. Your mother wants you to write 3 letters you will never send. One to the version of you who survived it, one to the version of you who is arriving, and one to her. Seal them, keep them, let the unsent words finish their work. She has seen generosity bend your calendar until there is no room left for your own joy. This week, schedule something that has no purpose but delight. Laughter refuels courage, and courage is how you keep your promises to yourself. She says your intuition whispers, not shouts. Whisper back to meet it where it lives. Quiet conversation builds reliable guidance. Here is a recipe you associate with home. Make it imperfectly soon, even if 2 ingredients are missing. Imperfect rituals still open perfect doors. She blesses a specific boundary you are afraid to set because you worry it will be misread. Set it kindly and clearly. Those who love you will learn its language. Your mother is proud of how you apologize when you must. She's prouder still when you stop apologizing for existing. Take up your chair at the table without shrinking. She asks you to bring a plant into the corner that feels heaviest. Living green teaches the root how to grow again. Growth changes the story more quietly than drama, and more completely. There is a name you practice saying without trembling. You did well. Keep practicing until your voice carries your truth like a steady lantern. She has a blessing for your finances. She asks you to treat money like a guest who deserves clarity and respect. Give it a plan and a purpose, and it will act like a friend instead of a rumor. She noticed how you carry other people's anxieties as favors they never asked for. Lay down what was not given to you on purpose. Carry only what is yours, and carry it with compassion. Your mother says joy is a muscle. You sit in small reps, one song, one walk, one sunset counted carefully, and it will remember its strength. Strong joy holds more life. She wants you to forgive the hour you broke under pressure. You did not fail. You reach a limit that taught you where to build. Limits are maps, not verdicts. Here is a story about yourself you repeat because it feels safer than the unknown. Retire it with gratitude. Begin a truer line. I am learning to live as I really am. She blesses the next door you will close. Close kindly. A door becomes a wall you can lean on. Leaning is not weakness when you are choosing your direction. Your mother asks you to keep a small jar by the door. Each day drop in one note with a line about something that went right. By the end of the month you will have proof that the world answers patience. She sends comfort to the part of you that thinks rest must be earned. Rest is a right, like breath and water. From resting ground you will build more honest things. There is a friend whose presence steadies you. Invite them into an ordinary hour soon. Ordinary time with safe people is medicine that does not brag about itself. She has watched you relearn how to trust your timing. Keep trusting it. Late for the world can be perfect for the soul. Your mother smiles at your stubborn hope. Protective from the small cynic that wakes before coffee. Hope does better when it eats first. She asks you to sort a small stack of papers that keep sighing at you from a shelf. 10 minutes, 3 decisions. Keep, act, let go. Clarity arrives quickly when given a simple frame. She blesses your creative hands. Whatever you make, notes, drawings, lists, meals, carries a tone the world recognizes as yours. Keep making. Your tone is needed. There is a threshold you will cross in the next season, and the change will be gentle. You won't hear a trumpet. You will notice the light has changed and your shoulders are lower. Gentle change lasts longer than dramatic vows. She wants you to keep something soft on your chair, a scarf, a sweater, a cushion. Comfort within reach helps hard work stay humane. Humane hours are holy hours. Your mother says the person who underestimated you taught you something precious. You prefer being accurately seen to being loudly praised. Choose spaces that see you. Leave rooms that only echo themselves. She asks you to return to a book you loved once and underline a single line. Put that line where you can see it in the morning. Good words are keys that keep fitting new doors. She sends a blessing for travel, even if the journey is only from one habit to another. May you arrive with a steady breath and a clear name. May what is yours recognize you without tests. There is a worry you keep in your pocket like a stone. Take it out, hold it in both hands, and tell it what it already knows. I cannot carry you everywhere. Place it on a windowsill. Let the sun change its weight. She notices your kindness to animals and to old trees. She says this reveals your true alignment. You honor what cannot speak for itself. Keep honoring, and let that include your own shy needs. Your mother sends a blessing to your sleep again because the night hath been noisy. Warm your feet before you lie down, darken the room one lamp at a time, and give the day permission to end. Permission is a door the mind respects. She asks you to practice one small no in a safe place this week. The throat learns courage the way hands learn instruments by repetition. Your future relief will thank your present voice. There is a memory that returns like weather. When it arrives, let it rain, and do not build a house under the cloud. Weather passes, you remain. She blesses your next celebration, even if the reason is tiny. Celebrate the email sent, the room tidied, the walk completed. Small trumpets teach big joy its cues. Your mother is sending reassurance about a decision you already know is right. The path will look narrow for 3 steps and then widen. Take the first 3 without demanding a map of the mountains. She asks you to notice how the morning smells different after honest sleep. Let that smell be a daily invitation to begin again. Beginning again is the most faithful practice. There is an apology you are owed and may never receive. She asks you to release the expectation without releasing your dignity. You can hold yourself upright without holding your breath. She sends warmth to your name when you speak it into a new room. Walk in like someone the room is lucky to meet. Luck recognizes gratitude and moves closer. Your mother asks you to sing to yourself sometimes, even if softly and off-key. The body believes what the voice repeats kindly. Music untangles what words cannot reach. She blesses the way you have learned to stop reading between the lines of people who refuse to write clearly. Clarity is kindness. Move toward kind sentences. There is a small object you keep as a talisman. Clean it, thank it, and choose a place for it to rest on purpose. Purpose steadies meaning. She asks you to touch the doorway as you leave your home each day and think, return safely. Rituals this small turn hallways into guardians. Guardians anchor wandering minds. Your mother is proud that you are learning how to stay when staying is right and go when going is wise. She trusts your feet. They have learned the language of thresholds. She says your laughter could start a quiet revolution in a tired room. Let it. Rooms remember the one who brought fresh air. There is a fear that grows when you do not look at it directly. Look once, name it, and ask it to take the passenger seat. You will drive, it will not. She asks you to tell the truth to a mirror in the simplest way. I am trying. The mirror will soften because truth softens everything it touches. Softness in time becomes strength. She blesses your patience with those who are learning. Remember, you are also learning, even in areas where you teach. Mutual patience makes deeper progress. Your mother wants you to keep something beautiful at your desk. Beauty is not a luxury, it is fuel. Her fueled hearts make fewer sharp turns. There is a habit of checking doors twice that comes from old scarcity. Check once with presence. Presence is a better luck. She asks you to carry a small notebook or a single folded page. Write down the good sentence you overhear, the idea that lands, the time your courage surprised you. Memory supported by ink becomes a trustworthy friend. She blesses your next goodbye. Let it be honest, clean, and kind to the bone. Clean goodbyes fertilize future hellos. Your mother knows you are carrying someone else's secret carefully. She thanks you for your discretion and reminds you that confidentiality does not require self-erasure. Hold their trust without setting yourself on fire. She asks you to open a window during ordinary chores. Let wind share the weight of dishes and laundry and lists. Shared weight becomes bearable. There is a promise you made to the child you about the life you would try to build. Keep one piece of it this month. Kept promises fold time in your favor. She blesses your name again because repetition roots blessings. Your name will be said in the right rooms at the right times by the right mouths. Trust the timing. Trust the echo. Your mother places her hand on your crown in the old way you remember. She does not need a body to confer peace. Peace is a language the soul never forgets. She says, if you feel a sudden quiet mid-sentence today, that is me walking through the room with a smile. If you feel a tender steadiness when you feared you would shake, that is me too. If you feel nothing at all, love is still working underneath the noise. Archangel Michael says, keep this close and walk forward. The path is already clearing, one honest step at a time. Your mother is near, and near is enough. Archangel Michael says, the light widens again, and your mother's voice returns like a calm tide reaching a familiar shore. She has waited for this quiet to arrive so her next words can land softly. Let them settle where your breath is gentle. She wants you to keep a small bowl by your window and call it the returning place. Each evening, drop into it one worry you are done caring for the day. In the morning, return to the bowl and choose only what truly belongs to you. Your mother blesses your next conversation with yourself. Speak simply and without decoration so the truth can hear itself without strain. Simple words carry farther than heavy ones. She says to tend to your thresholds, the spot by the front door, the edge of the bed, the pause between messages. Thresholds teach you the art of entering and leaving with care. Careful entrances and clean exits turn ordinary hours into safe bridges. There is a practice she wants you to try for 7 dawns. Before you look outward, place both hands over your heart and say one sentence about who you are becoming. Becoming loves to be greeted. She knows you have been holding an old photograph like a fragile promise. Frame it, not as an altar to the past, but as a window that reminds you how love travels. Windows are for light and air, not for cages. Your mother sends tenderness to your jaw, where you store unspoken sentences. Soften it with warm tea, slow chewing, and a quiet room without urgency. Soft jaws speak kinder truths. She asks you to repair one small thing this week: a loose button, a squeaky hinge, a frayed cord. Repair trains the mind to believe in mending. Minds that believe in mending do not despair as easily. There is a place in your routine that has grown tight from overuse. Loosen it with a replacement ritual, a short walk instead of a scrolling loop, a glass of water instead of a second worry. Replace, don't scold. Your life will respond. Your mother blesses the keys you carry. May they open only what is yours and close only what needs rest. Keys become lighter when they match the right doors. She has seen you edit your joy to fit into smaller rooms. Let joy choose the room size. Rooms expand for honest gladness. She asks you to keep a single sentence where you can see it while you work. I can proceed kindly and still proceed. Kindness is not a brake. It is a better engine. Better engines travel farther without smoke. There is a song that keeps following you. He is guiding it toward you on purpose. Play it once without multitasking so the message can arrive whole. Whole messages calm restless hours. Your mother returns to the subject of rest because the body remembers what the mind forgets. Rest first, then decide. Decisions chosen by rested hands fit your life with fewer alterations. She blesses your calendar and asks you to circle 3 dates for gentle progress, not dramatic leaps. Gentle progress stacks quietly until one day it becomes a new view. New views make old doubt smaller. There is a small kindness you owe yourself today, perhaps a stretch, a nutritious meal, or 15 minutes of quiet. Pay it in full. Paid kindness compounds. Your mother is glad you are learning to say no without apology in your eyes. Keep going until your no sounds like a promise kept to your deepest self. Promises kept to the soul build unshakable floors. She asks you to choose one object that no longer holds who you are and release it thoughtfully. Clearing space is not loss. It is honest preparation. Honest rooms welcome accurate lives. Here is a fear you have outgrown, though it still tries on its old costume around you. Smile at it, name it, and keep walking. Outgrown fears dissolve faster when ignored with dignity. Your mother sends a blessing to your patience with timing. Not late, not early, right-sized arrival. Right-sized arrival feels like shoes that do not pinch. She has a practice for heavy afternoons. Open a window, drink water, touch something living, and write 5 honest words about the moment. Honest words are ladders. Ladders do not ask for applause. They ask for a foot. There is a boundary you set recently that made your chest feel clear. Memorize that sensation. Clear chests are compasses. Your mother blesses your learning, slow at times, steady always. Learning that honors pace becomes wisdom instead of trivia. Wisdom is pourable shelter. She asks you to keep a proof page near your desk. Each day, note one example that you are safe, supported, or capable. Proof quiets the part of the mind that only believes what it can count. There is a friend whose voice nourishes you. Call them and share one small victory, not a problem. Celebrated victories multiply. Your mother wants you to step outside after dusk and pay attention to the first star you notice. Name it reassurance in your heart. Reassurance loves being recognized. She blesses the way you stop to help strangers with small things. These are stitches holding the fabric of ordinary life together. Sim work is sacred work. There is a quiet promise forming in you about how you will treat your body going forward. Let it be gentle, specific, and doable. Specific gentleness builds reliable change. Your mother returns with 3 simple offerings: steadiness for your breath, clarity for your choices, and ease for your steps. Steady breath meets clear choice, and together they walk you toward ease. Ease is not laziness, it is precision without panic. She asks you to place a small note in your wallet that says, "I can handle this hour." The hour will read the note and soften. Soft hours still accomplish the necessary. There is a corner of your home that wants a soft lamb. Give it one. Lit corners teach the room how to exhale. Your mother blesses the way you keep showing up even when the last attempt was awkward. Awkward is the accent of new courage. New courage speaks fluently with practice. She asks you to prepare a comfort kit for your next difficult day: a playlist, a page of good sentences, a snack that respects your body, a short list of who to text. Prepared comfort shortens the night. Shorter nights mean kinder mornings. There is a habit of carrying other people's emergencies in your bones. Return emergencies to their owners with respect. Respect keeps compassion from burning out. Your mother loves that you are learning to celebrate without waiting for unanimous approval. Unanimous approval is not a requirement for joy. Joy signs its own permission slip. She blesses your sense of humor and asks you to share it more freely. Laughter is honest light. Honest light reveals safe paths without interrogation. There is a folder, digital or physical, that needs a quick sort. Set a timer for 12 minutes and choose momentum over perfection. Momentum opens doors that perfection only measures. Your mother asks you to say your full name slowly once a day. Meet yourself with presence. Grithens older posture. She blesses the next quiet yes you will give to a long-held dream. Quiet yes is lasting yes. Lasting yes builds a home. There is a window you rarely open. Open it. Houses need to breathe just like people do. Your mother sends care to your sleep once more: a clean pillowcase, a darkened room, a softened list. List softening is an evening craft. Skilled evenings yield kinder dawns. She asks you to notice how often you make room for others to be human. Like that room for yourself too. Rooms that welcome humanity attract real companionship. There is a small gift you can give someone this week without announcing it. Anonymous generosity strengthens secret joy. Secret joy is sturdy. Your mother blesses the words "enough for now." Use them on tasks, on worries, on conversations that want to run through red lights. Enough for now restores lawful speed. She says to keep one object that reminds you who you promised to become. Place it within sight of where you make decisions. Decision rooms need accurate mirrors. There is a story trying to end with grace. Let it. Endings done kindly become fertile ground. Fertile ground grows truer beginnings. Your mother sends protection to the errands that knit your days together. May you meet kind eyes at counters and crosswalks. May the world nod back when you nod first. She asks you to remember that softness can coexist with strength without contradiction. You are allowed to be both warm and unwavering. Warm and unwavering is a trustworthy climate. There's a practice she calls the 3 gentle shifts. Shift your shoulders down. Shift your breath longer. Shift your gaze to something steady. 3 shifts reset the hour. Your mother blesses your next boundary with gratitude in advance. Gratitude disarms misunderstanding. Disarmed rooms hear better. She asks you to make space each week to do something playful with no scoreboard attached. Play returns your nervous system to its original brightness. Bright systems navigate better. There is a cupboard that hides a half-finished plan. Take it out and give it one honest hour. Honest hours reveal whether to proceed or release. Your mother sends calm to the part of you that believes love must always look like sacrifice. Let love also look like proportion. Proportional love lasts. She asks you to keep a small line in your bag that says, "Drink water, breathe, proceed." 3 steps are often enough. The 4th arrives on its own. There's a color that keeps appearing in your week. Wear it once on purpose. On purpose choices strengthen agency. Your mother blesses your courage to refine rather than abandon. Refinement respects the progress that already exists. Respect and progress grow with dignity. She asks you to thank your feet at day's end. You walked through so much without fanfare. Gratitude makes ground feel kinder tomorrow. There is a conversation waiting for honesty at the center. Bring the center forward with softness and facts. Soft facts travel farther than loud opinions. Your mother returns to your shoulders with a second blessing. They do not have to carry proof of worth. Worth is not luggage. Put the suitcase down. She asks you to plant an intention by giving it a time and a place. Intentions rooted in time grow leaves. Leaves make shade for tired minds. There is a memory that still tries to argue its case. Let it finish without responding. Silence can be a dignified verdict. Your mother blesses the way you are learning to ask for help. Asking is trust in action. Trust invites reliable hands. She asks you to walk at your own pace even when others suggest a sprint. The view you need appears at your speed. Your speed is a form of wisdom. There is a shelf that wants only what you truly use. Curate it like a small museum of accuracy. Accurate shelves calm decision fatigue. Your mother sends steadiness to your name when you write it at the bottom of a form, a page, a message. Names sign weather into climate. Your climate is becoming kind. She asks you to keep a done list alongside the to-do list. Counting completions trains the mind to recognize efficiency. Recognized sufficiency sleeps better. There is a corner of regret that softens when you tell the full story. Tell it to the page or let the page keep it. Pages are good vaults. Your mother blesses your patience with your own unfolding. Buds do not hiss at themselves to bloom. They trust the sun and keep opening. She asks you to return to water, drink it, sit near it, listen to it. Water teaches persistence without panic. Persistent calm is the rhythm of durable change. There is a laugh you have been saving because the day felt too serious. Spend it. Laughter is not a debt. It is circulation. Your mother blesses the way you pause before responding. Pauses are quiet doors where wisdom waits. Enter them often. She asks you to choose one song as your come-home anthem and let it play when you cross your threshold. Returning is a ceremony worth music. Musical returns train the nervous system to unclench. There is an item you keep for just in case that only stores old scarcity. Release it with thanks for its imagined service. Space loves being trusted. Your mother sends ease to your mornings with 3 permissions. Permission to be new, permission to be slow, permission to be enough. New, slow, enough forms a kind trinity of beginnings. Begin inside them. She asks you to practice small brave once a day, a message sent, a boundary kept, a truth named. Small brave gathers into large calm. Large calm changes rooms. There is a limit you will enforce soon. Let your tone be steady and your words brief. Brevity shields tenderness. Shielded tenderness can stay open. Your mother blesses your sleep again because she knows how night can wander. Write tomorrow's first step before you lie down. Written first steps greet you like a friend at the door. He asks you to let today be sufficient. Not the final masterpiece, just a faithful brushstroke. Faithful brushstrokes finish canvases. There is a season arriving that will require less force and more alignment. Alignment feels like walking with the wind. Walk with it and keep your shoulders low. Your mother's closing for this passage is simple and certain. She places peace in your pockets, courage in your shoes, and clarity in your hands. Carry them lightly. They replenish as you use them. Archangel Michael says, hold these instructions close, not as commandments, but as companionship. Your mother continues to stand just beyond the visible, lighting the path one real step at a time. Walk in that light, and let your life feel like it fits.